Okay, so here's pretty much the final optimal, in inverted commas, setup for what you're aiming for here, okay? And what that is these are your main dudes. Frodo, obviously your main dude. You have him pumped up with your defense marks. You probably only need 2. You have him got Sentinel, so he can defend anywhere on the board. You have him have the Song of Battle, so he can have support of the Eagles. And that gives him the defense from the Vassal of the Windlord, or whatever he's called. No, the Winged Guardian, which is 4 defense, okay? So at fully pumped up with this setup, you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defense on Frodo, plus his Sentinel ability, plus his untap effects through the fast hitch, plus his Burning Brand to cancel blah blah blah, and then you've got the plate to give him extra health, and you've got his own ability to negate damage. Basically, and it's not, I mean, it's hard to get like everything happening like in that example, but you will almost always get support of the Eagles and Citadel plate and a Sentinel on him almost every single time, and maybe 1 hitch. And of course you can, you've got 3 of these unexpected courages, so you can stick unexpected courage on him. There's a lot of things you can do. But basically, that's basically what you want Frodo to do. He can basically defend the entire board by himself. He's a ridiculous card, to be honest. Okay, so then we've got Gimli. Now Gimli, we've got the spirit icon on him to help with the casting of the Northern Trackers from this deck. Okay? Then we have the ranged keyword is attached to him through the Duradane Cache. Very, very important. Allows him to attack anywhere on the board with his super powered upness. And, well, that's just a no-brainer. The plate, that allows you to make him even more powerful. Remember, we have the Heal 2 attachment is in these decks, even though you probably won't play it. Plus we have 3 Protector of Lorians, 3 Daughter of Imnodels or whatever. So there's 4 cards that can heal 2 wounds. So don't be afraid to heaping damage on Gimli, especially if you have those cards out, because you can just heal 2 every time. And you want an unexpected courage on him, so he can attack multiple times. It's even more important when the range keyword is on. And finally, this is a bit of an actual screw up in my deck. I only noticed it while I was doing this. I haven't actually been playing this one, and it probably should have been brought to my attention, but these axes conflict in board position with the Blades of Gondolin. Okay? The Blades of Gondolin have 2 targets. Okay? Gimli and Brand. Okay? The Dwarven Axe has 1 target, which is Gimli. Okay? So you have a choice. My advice would be to actually remove these and replace them with something else. I literally only just noticed this problem with this deck while I was setting up this screen. I actually don't play with the deck that has these in them, so I mean, I'll have to ask my partner why he didn't bring it to my attention before I made this video. But whatever. I would take them out, because I think Blade of Gondolin, it's cheaper, it only costs 1 to cast, plus it has that neat effect of placing a progress token. Okay? So, yeah, take those 2 out. And, yeah, so Blade of Gondolin gives them an extra attack against orcs, but it also allows them to place that progress token, because Gimli is going to be powerful enough. I mean, he's attacking for 3 already, remember. Dane gives him +1. So he's attacking for 3 by himself, so he's got 4 damage, plus he's got 5 health, so he can theoretically attack for 11 just by himself. So the extra 2 damage really isn't that needed. Okay, so that was a bit of a screw up by me. Sorry about that. I'm not going to redo this whole video just to not have those cards in it. Secondly, we have Berevor, and I've put an Unexpected Courage on Berevor just so she can do an extra tap if needed. You don't really need that Unexpected Courage on her. She should be tapping twice around regardless from the brand effect, which is 4 cards. That's plenty, plus the other cards. But we have played games where we've actually put 3 Unexpected Courages on Berevor, and that's insane as well. So she is another target for the third. Because I've only used 2 Unexpected Courages so far. So the next Unexpected Courage can go on Berevor, and the other target for the third Unexpected Courage is Bilbo again. So as you can see, this is a very, very important deck. Basically, the other decks are supporting this one deck, which does most of the fighting and most of the action. Okay, over here we have Lorien on Theodred, and we have Steward on Bilbo. Now, that is so Bilbo can power the map maker, okay, and also get out some of those expensive lore cards to make up for the fact that he's only got 1 icon. And then lastly, we have Support of the Eagles on Brand to beef up his attack with vassals, so he attacks for 6. We have Blade of Gondolin, so he attacks for he attacks to 1 against extra 1 against orcs, but mainly so he can add progress tokens. And of course, this is not this is restricted, but Eagles is not restricted, so you can place the third Blade of Gondolin on him, so he can place 2 tokens. He attacks anywhere on the board. Eleanor, we talked about Horn of Gondor. There's lots of cards that move out, and that buffs up the spirit and allows the spirit icons to be used for the oh my god, I'm going insane. Northern Tracker, there you go, for the Northern Tracker. And finally we have Tharlan, and Tharlan is the quester, so he gets the Sleeburn Stone and he gets Protector of Lorien. And now there's a number of songs that have not been used in this setup, and that you place them where you need them. As you play the decks, you'll get a feel for where the songs need to go, like who's not got enough mana to cast their stuff. But it's sort of set up so, I mean, there's not a lot of spirit to be cast in this deck except for the Northern Tracker. But I mean, there is spirit, but so this is going to accumulate points, but that's all right, because then you're going to use those points to cast the Tracker, or you're going to use those points to cast Galadriel's Greeting. And it's same for, well, not so much for the lore, because you've got the Steward to do that. And yeah, so that's the decks. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry about the screw up. These 2 cards can probably be replaced by something. Okay, so I may as well just do this. These are the 3 cards that I at a glance, I didn't think about this too hard, but these are... Oh, am I recording? Yes, I am. So these are the 3 cards that I would suggest might be good replacements for these axes. You have Song of Mocking. Again, this is obviously a target for the Frodo, and it allows you to basically use him once again to divert damage from elsewhere on the board. Okay, this basically allows you to, he makes Frodo even better at blocking, and it's sort of like an extra chance to draw one of the signals. So it's sort of like a weak version of the Sentinel. The other one, this is actually pretty good, I would strongly suggest this, is put in a resource icon for tactics. And this is obviously a target, once again, for Frodo. And it just increases the chance. there's a very high probability that you're going to be able to get Song of Battle out very, very quickly because you've got Bilbo and the Minstrels, which allows you to pick it out of your deck at hand. But if this will just increase that odds and maybe allow your first Minstrel to be used to grab something else. And the other choice would be between these two cards, and that is just an extra fast hitch to increase that crazy blocking Frodo effect, or as I said before, the Song of Mocking. So yeah, these cards are kind of dead and shouldn't be in the deck, and that was a huge mistake on my part. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know how you went. This is obviously way longer than I thought it would be. So yeah, I'm planning to do one for 2-player and one for 1-player. These are decks designed to do the entire of the Shadow of Mirkwood cycle. So have fun. Let me know how you do. Okay, so just a final note before I go. There is one thing I wanted to mention about this deck, and that is it has a little bit of a problem with questing. Okay, now you might be able to get around if you swap Brand for Legolas. That would definitely help that and not affect the deck construction too much, but you will lose some of the card draw effect, and you'll have to change your Unexpected Courage targets for Beravor. But it works fine without it. It's just that in particularly, I can't remember exactly which one it was. There's one scenario which did cause us trouble. I mean, we basically did a cakewalk through every single scenario except one, and I believe it's actually generally thought of as an easy one, and that is the Hills of Emyn Muil. So if I just load up this deck, I'm pretty sure this is the correct one that caused us all the problems. Revealed all. Okay, so it's still loading in a bunch of cards. But Amon Hen, there was Amon Hen, and the other one we want is Amon Law. If I just find Amon Law, here we are. This card, as you can see, it's got an X threat, right? And both these cards go into the staging area, right? So for the very first, like turn 1, you start with 6 threat in the staging, 12 threat in the staging area, because it is double. It is double the number of players. Okay, so that means that this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this caused us a lot of problems because it was pretty hard to get control at the very start of this quest, but apart from that, everything else went really smooth. So some improvements to this setup could possibly be the swapping of Brand, but again, that changes all the attachment priorities, or trying to put in some cheap Rohan questing cards, like West Road Traveller, for example. Costs 2 quests for 2. Fantastic questing card. Very, very cheap and very, very powerful. Okay, so yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. So I will see you next time. See ya.